Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we will see some questions based on complex numbers. Disclaimer: the images used in our slide deck are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. Let's start question number 21. If mod z minus 1 is equal to 1, then argument of z is equal to. I will give 10 seconds to solve this question. After that, we will discuss the solution. Let's move to the solution part. In the given question, it is given that mod of z minus 1 is equal to 1. So, we can write z minus 1 as e to the power iota theta, where argument of z minus 1 is equal to theta. Since mod z minus 1 is given 1, right? So, we can write this. Now, z will be 1 plus, 1 will go this side, 1 plus e to the power iota theta. Now, expand e to the power iota theta as cos theta plus iota sin theta. So z can be written as 1 plus cos theta plus iota sin theta. So e to the power iota theta is written as cos theta plus iota sin theta, as we have written this. So now 1 plus cos theta can be written as 2 cos squared theta by 2 by half angle formula of trigonometry. And sin theta can be written as 2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2. Right? So this whole term is 2 cos squared theta by 2 plus 2 iota sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2. Now, when we take 2 cos theta by 2 common, 2 cos theta by 2 common in this, we will get cos theta by 2 plus iota sin theta by 2, right? So, it is of the form mod z in polar form, right? Where 2 cos theta by 2 is basically mod z, which is r, and cos theta by 2 plus iota sin theta by 2. So, from here, we can say that argument of z is equal to theta by 2, right? So, and theta is argument of z minus 1. So, argument of z is 1 by 2, argument of z minus 1, right? So, I think option C is the right choice. Let's move to question number 22. Let z is equal to cos theta plus iota sin theta. Then we have to calculate summation of m is equal to 1 to 15, imaginary part of z to the power 2m minus 1 at theta is equal to 2 degree. So I'll give 10 seconds again to solve this question. After 10 seconds, we will move to the solution part. Okay, let's move to the solution. See, we have to calculate this. So given that z is equal to cos theta plus iota sin theta. So write it is an Euler form, which is e to the power iota theta. Now we have to calculate summation of m is equal to 1 to 15, imaginary part of z to the power 2m minus 1. So it can put z is equal to e to the power iota theta. So it can be written as m is equal to summation of m is equal to 1 to 15, imaginary part of e to the power iota theta to the power 2m minus 1. Now this will be equal to summation of m equal to 1 to 15, imaginary part of e to the power iota 2m minus 1 theta. Now we have to take imaginary part of this. We can write it e to the power iota 2m minus 1 theta can be written as cos 2m minus 1 theta plus iota sin 2m minus 1 theta, right? So imaginary part is basically sin summation of m is equal to 1 to 15 sin 2m minus 1 theta, right? Now we can put m from 1 to 15, right? When we put m as 1, we will get sin theta plus sin 3 theta plus sin 5 theta till sin 29 theta, right? Now we can apply the formula of sequence of sin theta, right? So we know the formula sin theta plus 14 theta by 2, since theta plus 14 2 theta by 2, because difference is 2 theta, right? 3 theta minus theta is 2 theta, 5 theta minus 3 theta is 2 theta, right? So theta plus 14 2 theta by 2 into sin 15 2 theta by 2 upon sine 2 theta by 2, right? So it can be written sine 15 theta into sine 15 theta upon sine theta. Now we know that theta is 2 degree, right? So it will be sine 30 into sine 30, which is 1 by 2 into 1 by 2, which is 1 by 4. So 1 by 4 sine theta. And we can put theta is 2 degree. So answer will be 1 by 4 sine 2 degree. So I think option D is the right choice. Let's move to question number 23. Z is equal to iota to the power iota to the power iota, where iota is root over minus 1. Then calculate mod Z. Let's resume the solution after 10 seconds. Okay, let's come to solution part. Iota is basically, iota can be written as cos pi by 2 plus iota sin pi by 2, right? And it is equal to e to the power iota pi by 2, right? Now, iota to the power iota is e to the power iota pi by 2 to the power iota. So we will multiply iota with this one. So e to the power iota square pi by 2, which is e to the power minus pi by 2. Now we know that e to the power minus pi by 2 is basically a constant, right? Because e is constant and minus pi by 2 is constant. So e to the power minus iota, e to the power minus pi by 2 is constant. Now we have to calculate iota to the power iota to the power iota. And iota to the power iota we know, right? Iota to the power iota we know. So iota to the power e to the power minus pi by 2, right? Because iota to the power iota is e to the power minus pi by 2. Now, z is basically iota to the power e to the power minus pi by 2, right? So, now we have to calculate mod z. So, mod z will be equal to mod iota e to the power minus pi by 2. Now, we know that mod of iota is 1. So, 1 to the power some constant is equal to 1. So, option A will be the right choice of 1. Let's move to question number 24. The question is 1 plus iota sine pi by 8 plus cos pi by 8 upon 1 minus iota sine pi by 8 plus cos pi by 8 to the power 8. Let's move to the solution part after 10 seconds. Okay, so let's move to the solution. Suppose z is equal to cos pi by 8 plus iota sine pi by 8. Right. So what will be 1 by z? 1 by z will be cos pi by 8 minus iota sine pi by 8. Right. So 1 by z can be calculated. 1 by z will be 1 by cos pi by 8 plus iota sine pi by 8. Right. We can rationalize it. Right. So multiply with cos pi by 8 minus iota sine pi by 8 upon cos pi by 8 minus iota sine pi by 8. Right. Now we can calculate 1 plus cos pi by 8 plus iota sine pi by 8 upon 1 plus cos pi by 8 minus iota sine pi by 8, right, to the power 8. Now put cos pi by 8 plus iota sine pi by 8 z and cos pi by 8 minus iota sine pi by 8 is 1 by z. That is z to the power minus 1. So after putting this, 1 plus z and 1 plus z will be cancelled out. So it will be z to the power 8. So answer will be cos pi by 8 plus iota sine pi by 8 to the power 8. Now, by using De Moivre's theorem, 8 will come here, right? So cos 8 pi by 8 plus iota sine 8 pi by 8. Now 8 and 8 will cancel out. We know that sine pi is 0, right? So iota term will remove. So cos pi is negative 1, right? So answer C. Now next question. Question number 25. If 1 alpha 2 till alpha n minus 1 are nth roots of unity, then we have to calculate 2 minus alpha 1 into 2 minus alpha 2 till 2 minus alpha n minus 1. Let's move to the solution after 10 seconds. Okay, let's come to the solution part. Now see, x to the power n minus 1 can be written as x minus 1, x minus alpha 1, x minus alpha 2, right? Till x minus alpha n minus 1, right? Now, we have to calculate basically this part, right? So, you can see that when we put x equal to 2, we are getting this part, right? So put x equal to 2, we will get, so 2 minus 1 is 1. So now 2 minus alpha 1 into 2 minus alpha 2 into till 2 minus alpha n minus 1 will be equal to, also in right hand side we will put x equal to 2, right? So 2 to the power n minus 1. So I think correct answer will be option D, right? Let's move to the next question. Next question is question number 26. If omega not equal to 1 is a cube root of unity and 1 plus omega to the power 7 is equal to a plus b omega, then we have to find ordered pair a, b. So after 10 seconds, I'll discuss the solution. Okay, so we have 1 plus omega to the power 7 is a plus b omega, right? Now we know that 1 plus omega square is equal to 0, right? So 1 plus omega can be written as minus omega square, right? Now put minus omega square in place of 1 plus omega. So minus omega square to the power 7 is equal to a plus b omega, right? So it can be written as minus omega to the power 14 is equal to a plus b omega. Now omega to the power 14 is basically can be written as omega to the power 12 into omega square, right? And omega to the power 12 is 1. As we know that omega to the power something which is multiple of 3 is 1, right? So 12 is multiple of 3. So it will be omega square. So omega to the power 14 will be omega square. So minus omega square is equal to a plus b omega. Now minus omega square can be written as 1 plus omega, right? So 1 plus omega is equal to a plus b omega. Now a will be 1 and b will be 1 by comparing both sides. So I think a is equal to 1 and b equal to 1. Option A will be the right choice. Let's move to question number 27. If alpha, beta belongs to C, which is complex number, are the distinct roots of the equation x square minus x plus 1 is equal to 0, then we have to calculate alpha to the power 101 plus beta to the power 107. Let's move to the solution part after 10 seconds. Now let's discuss the solution. Since alpha and beta are roots of equation x square minus x plus 1, now when we calculate root, we will see that roots of equation x square minus x plus 1 are basically minus omega and minus omega square, right? And alpha and beta are distinct roots of this one. So let us assume alpha is minus omega and beta is minus omega square. Now let's put alpha and beta in place of this equation. So put alpha as minus omega and beta as minus omega square. So minus omega to the power 101 plus minus omega square to the power 107. Let's take minus as common. So it will be minus omega to the power 101 plus omega to the power 214. Now we know that omega to the power 3n plus 2 is basically omega square, right? And 101 is of the form 3n plus 2, right? Because 101 is basically 99 plus 2, right? And 99 is of the form 3n, right? 3 into 33, 33 plus 2. So 101 is of the form 3n plus 2, right? So it will be omega square, and 214 is basically 3n plus 1. 214 is of the form 3n plus 1, right? So it can be written as omega. Now minus of omega square plus omega. So omega square plus omega is basically negative 1, right? As we all know that. So we will put omega square plus omega is negative 1. So minus of minus 1 is 1. Clear? So answer will be 1. So I think option C will be the right choice. Let's move to the question number 28. So after if x square plus x is plus 1 is equal to 0, then we have to calculate summation of r is equal to 1 to 25 x to the power r plus 1 by x to the power r to the power whole square. Now after 10 seconds, we will move to the solution part. Now let's discuss. Since x square plus x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now x square plus 1, we all know that the root of x square plus x plus 1 is equal to 0 is basically omega and omega square. So let's put x as omega. So it will be omega to the power r plus 1 by omega to the power r. And it will be equal to minus 1 or 2. It will take the value minus 1 when r is not divisible by 3, and it will take the value 2 when r is divisible by 3. You can put when r is divisible by 3, suppose r omega to power 3 is 1 plus 1 by omega to power 3, which is again 1. So answer will be 2. When r is not divisible by 3, suppose take r is equal to 1, right? So omega plus 1 by omega. 1 by omega can be written as omega square, right? So omega plus 1 omega square is minus 1, right? Now, from 1 to 25, how many terms are divisible by 3 and how many terms are not divisible by 3, right? So terms that is divisible by 3 are basically 3, third term, right? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 and 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 terms which are divisible by 3. And how many terms are left? 17 terms. So 17 terms are not divisible by 3. So 8, right? 8 times 2 square, right? 8 times, because 8 times x to the power r plus 1 by x to the power r will be 2. So 8 times 2 to the power 2. So 8 times 2 square plus 17 times minus 1 square. So answer will be 49. So I think option D, none of these is the right choice. Now let's discuss question number 29. Let omega is a complex number such that 2 omega plus 1 is equal to z, where z is root over minus 3. If determinant of this thing is equal to 3k, then we have to calculate the value of k. Let's move to the solution after 10 seconds. Okay, let's discuss the solution. It is given that 2 omega plus 1 is equal to z. So omega can be calculated as minus 1 plus root 3 iota by 2, right? Now, determinant of this term is 3k. Now we know that, we know that minus of 1 plus omega square is basically omega, right? Because 1 plus omega square is 1 plus omega square is 0, right? So minus of 1 plus omega square can be written as omega. So determinant of this term is basically 3a. Now after solving this determinant, we will get 3 times omega square minus omega is equal to 3k, right? So we are getting omega square minus omega is equal to k, right? Now we have to put the answer in terms of z, right? So let's see. So omega square minus omega. So omega square is basically, omega is minus 1 plus root 3 by 2 iota by 2, right? So omega square will be minus 1 by 2 minus root 3 iota by 2, right? And omega will be this one. So plus 1 by 2 minus root 3 iota by 2. So 1 will cancel out. So it will be minus root 3 iota. Clear? And what is minus root 3 iota? Minus root 3 iota is basically minus of z, right? Because it is 2 omega plus 1. Z is, what is z? Z is 2 omega plus 1, right? 2 omega plus 1. So that is root 3. Z is basically root 3 iota. So minus root 3 iota is basically minus of z, right? So option A will be the right choice. Now let's discuss question number 30. The value of determinant. We have to calculate the value of determinant this, where omega is the cube root of unity. So let's move to the solution after 10 seconds. Okay, let's come to the solution. Now see, we all know that 1 plus omega square is equal to 0, right? So delta is basically 1 plus omega square. Delta is basically 1 plus omega square minus omega, this term, right? Now, apply C1 to C1 plus C2, right? So after doing C1, this elementary transformation, C1, replace C1 with C1 plus C2, right? So we will see that 1 plus omega square, 1 plus omega square plus 2 omega, right? Clear? This term we will get. Now we know that 1 plus omega square is 0. So we'll get 0, 0. Now we did this to simplify our determinant, right? Now we can calculate the determinant. omega square plus 2 omega into omega minus omega to power 4 plus omega square. So after solving this, we will get minus 3 omega square. So answer C is the right choice. Let's move to the next question. Question number 31. If A, B, C are integers, not all equal to omega, right? Not all equal, and omega is the cube root of unity, where omega not equal to 1, then we have to calculate the minimum value of mod A plus B omega plus C omega square, right? So let's move to the solution part after 10 seconds. Now, we have to find the minimum value of A plus B omega plus C omega square, right? Now, mod of A plus B omega plus C omega square whole square is basically, we know that mod Z square is basically Z bar, right? So mod of this square is A plus B omega plus C omega square into A plus B omega bar plus C omega bar square, right? Omega square bar. Now, by multiplying this, right, and put omega bar is equal to omega square and omega square bar is equal to omega, right? So we will get this. So after multiplying, we get A square plus B square plus C square minus AB minus BC minus CA. And it can be finally converted into this form 1 by 2 A minus B square plus B minus C square plus C minus A square. Now, this term will take minimum value when A equal to B is equal to 1 and C equal to 2, right? So after solving, we will get answer 1. B is the right choice. Clear? So minimum value of this mod A plus B omega plus C omega square is basically 1. Let's move to the next question. Question number 32. The question is omega is e to the power iota pi by 3 and A, B, C, X, Y, Z be non-zero complex numbers such that A plus B plus C is equal to X, A plus B omega plus C omega square is equal to Y, and A plus B omega square plus C omega is equal to Z. Then we have to calculate mod X square plus mod Y square plus mod Z square upon mod A square plus mod B square plus mod C square. Now let's move to the solution part after 10 seconds. Okay, let's discuss the solution. Now, mod X square plus mod Y square plus mod Z square can be written as X bar plus Y plus Z bar, right? Now, X is basically A plus B plus C. So it can be written as A plus B plus C into A bar plus B bar plus C bar, right? Same as Y bar, A plus B omega plus C omega square into A bar plus B bar plus C bar omega bar square. Now, A plus B omega square plus C omega into A bar plus B bar omega bar square plus C bar omega, right? Now, after solving this, we will multiply this. We will get 3 times mod A square plus mod B square plus mod C square, right? So after putting this term as mod A 3 times mod A square plus mod B square plus mod C square, mod A square plus mod B square plus mod C square will cancel out and we will get the value of this as 3. So I think option answer will be 3 and option C will be the right choice. Let's move to the next question, question number 33. If real part of 1 by Z is equal to 3, then Z lies on. So let's discuss the solution after 10 seconds. Okay. So given real part of 1 by Z is 3. So 1 by Z can be written as Z bar upon mod Z square, right? So real part of Z bar upon mod Z square is basically 3. So real part of Z bar is basically X, right? And mod Z square is basically X square plus Y square. When we put Z is equal to X plus iota Y, right? Equal to 3. So after solving this, we will get 3x square plus 3y square minus x, which is basically circle whose center is on x-axis and passes through origin, right? This circle is passing through origin. So I think option C will be the right choice. Let's move to the next question. Question number 34. If imaginary part of 2z plus 1 upon iota z plus 1 is minus 2, then locus of point representing z in a complex plane is. So let's move to the solution part after 10 seconds. Okay, so 2z plus 1 upon iota z plus 1. Let's put z as x plus iota y, right? So it will be 2x plus 1 plus 2 iota y upon 1 minus y plus iota x, right? After solving this. Now we can rationalize it, right? Because in the denominator, iota is there, right? So after rationalizing, we can multiply with 1 minus y minus iota x upon 1 minus y plus minus iota x in the numerator and the denominator. So after multiplying, we will get numerator as 2x minus y plus 1 minus iota 2x square plus 2y square plus x minus 2y. Now, it is written that imaginary part of this is negative 2, right? So this term is imaginary part, right? This term is imaginary part, right? So it will be minus 2. Clear? So it will be minus 2. So after solving this by cross multiplication, right? We will get x plus 2y minus 2 is equal to 0, which is the equation of a straight line, right? So I think option B is the right choice. Let's move to the question number 35. If mod z is equal to 1 and z not equal to plus minus 1, then all the values of z upon 1 minus z square lies on. So let's discuss the solution after 10 seconds. Okay, let's discuss the solution. If mod z is equal to 1, right? Now, this term z upon 1 minus z square can be written as this and 1 can be written as, since mod z is equal to 1, right? Mod z is equal to 1. So after squaring it, we are getting z bar is equal to 1, right? So 1 can be written as z bar, right? So z upon z bar minus z square. Now after taking z as common, z will cancel out from numerator and the denominator. We will get 1 by z bar minus z. Now z bar minus z is always imaginary, right? Right. So 1 by z bar minus z is always imaginary. Clear? So on the y-axis, on the imaginary axis, right? So this z upon 1 minus z square will lie on the y-axis. Let's discuss the next question, question number 36. If omega is equal to z upon z minus iota by 3 and mod of omega is equal to 1, then z lies on. So after 10 seconds, we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part. Now, we know that mod z is equal to 1. So mod z can be written as, by taking modulus both sides. So mod z is basically mod z minus iota by 3. So now this, we know that this is perpendicular bisector of line segment joining 0, 0 and 0, 1 by 3, right? That is line y is equal to 1 by 6, right? Perpendicular bisector. So z lies on a straight line, right? Let's move to the next question, question number 37. If z1, z2 are two complex numbers such that z1 by z2 plus z2 by z1 is equal to 1, then. So let's move to the solution after 10 seconds. Okay, so given that z1 upon z2 plus z2 upon z1 is equal to 1, now after solving we'll get z1 square plus z2 square is equal to z1 z2, right? Now it can be written as z1 square plus z2 square plus z3. Let's suppose we have just something z3 which is equal to 0, right? So z1 square plus z2 square plus z3 square can be is equal to z1 z2 plus z2 z1 z3 plus z2 z3, right? Now we know that this equation represents an equilateral triangle, right? Having vertices z1, z2 and z3, right? So z1, z2 and origin form an equilateral triangle. So I think option C is the right choice. A complex number z is said to be unimodular if mod z is equal to 1. Suppose z1, z2 are complex numbers such that this is unimodular and z2 is not unimodular. Then point z1 lies on. Let's discuss after 10 seconds. So let's discuss the solution. Given Z2 is not unimodular, so mod Z2 not equal to 1. So Z1 minus 2 Z2 upon 2 Z1 Z2 bar is unimodular, right? So modulus of this is 1. So by taking square both side, right, and cross multiplication, the square of this will be Z1 minus 2 Z2 into Z1 bar minus 2 Z2 bar, and this because Z bar is equal to mod Z square. We all know that. So after calculating this and solving, we will get 4 plus mod Z square into mod Z2 square minus 2 Z2 Z1 bar Z2 bar minus 2 Z1 Z2 bar. So it can be written like this: mod Z1 square minus 1 into mod Z1 square minus 4, right? Mod Z2 square minus 1 into mod Z1 square minus 4. And we all know that mod Z2 not equal to 1, right? So mod Z1 will be equal to 2, right? So Z1 will be x plus iota y, which is x square plus y square equal to 2 square. We know that mod Z1 is equal to 2 is the locus of circle having center 0, 0 and radius 2, right? So Z1 lies on circle of radius 2. So option C is the right choice. Let's move to question number 39. If mod Z square minus 1 is equal to mod Z square plus 1, then Z lies on. So let's discuss the solution after 10 seconds. Okay, let's discuss. Let us suppose Z is equal to R e to the power iota theta. Then mod R square e to the power, we put Z as R e to the power iota theta. So mod of R square e to the power 2 iota theta minus 1 mod is basically R square cos 2 theta minus 1 whole square plus R square sin 2 theta whole square, right? So it can be written as R square plus 1 whole square, right? So after solving, we will get cos 2 theta is minus 1. So theta will be pi by 2, right? So Z can be written as R cos pi by 2 plus iota sin pi by 2, which is iota R. So option D will be the right choice, imaginary axis. Clear? Because it is iota R. Now let's discuss question number 40. If Z satisfies mod Z is equal to 1 and Z is equal to 1 minus mod Z, then statement 1, Z is real number. Statement 2, principal argument of Z is pi by 3. So let's discuss the solution after 10 seconds. Okay. So let's suppose Z is equal to x plus iota y. Then x square plus y square will be 1. And Z is equal to 1 minus iota Z bar. 1 minus Z bar. So x plus iota y will be 1 minus x minus iota y. Right? So we will get first x square plus y square equal to 1. And after solving this, we will get 2x equal to 1. That is x equal to 1 by 2. After putting x equal to 1 by 2 in this, we will get y equal to plus minus root 3 by 2. So Z can be 1 by 2 plus minus iota root 3 by 2. So let's take Z is equal to 1 by 2 plus root 3 iota by 2. So argument of Z theta is equal to pi by 3. Clear? So Z is not a real number. Z is a complex number. So 1 is false, 2 is true. So option D is the right choice. Okay. Thank you.